All right, red lights on. Welcome in, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our NBA Game 5 Finals post-game reaction show, which for the fourth time in 5 games is like a end of game into the post-game reaction show. I'm Bryson Carver. There's Paris Brown joining us for the second time. He's a big-time diehard Pacers fan and a big-time contributor here at the Grid Network. Paris, I get to see the nerves in your face, and we were talking beforehand. Like, yeah, it's Game 5 2-2 series. Like, a lot of stress and anxiety right now.
It's one of those, if we lose this series is basically over. Because if we lose this, the odds that we go back to Indiana, win, and go back to OKC and win again,
yeah,
I don't see it.
No question about that. And you know, it's funny. We were just talking a second ago. The fact that Oklahoma City was up 14 points in the first half felt like a massive win for the Pacers based on how they play. I mean, I think Siakam and Halliburton had a combined 10 points, whereas SGA and Jalen Williams had combined 29, right? Like, so it's just the stars for the Pacers didn't show up, and the Thunder stars have, although Halliburton just hit a couple free throws here to get it down to 6.
And it just felt like you were saying, going into halftime, yeah, we were down by 14. It felt like a 20, 30-point game. It just felt like we were getting blown out. And somehow, again, very reminiscent of Game 1. We had a lot of turnovers. Nobody's doing anything, but we're in the game somehow. We're still there.
I mean, it's just, and it's some of it's these little bursts, like some of these little 7-0 runs. Like, I feel like over the course of the series, when it's been outside of Game 2, I mean, really most of Game 1 and then all of Game 2, it's mostly been close where, oh, there's another steal by Lou Dort. Man, turnovers have killed you guys. There's a layup on the other. That's an M1. Ooh. Yeah, Shea jumped that.
Back up by double digits.
Every time it feels like Indiana, they cut it to 4, cut it to 5. Oklahoma City just goes in one of these little bursts.
Luckily, again, somehow we still have 6 minutes. But man,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not unforeign territory this is foreign territory for the Indiana Pacers. Like, they've made a number of these comebacks, but you have to imagine if you're Oklahoma City, knowing that in the back of your head, like, we're not going to mess around because we know what happened in Game 1 when we didn't execute offensively. They hit some threes, and all of a sudden we lose.
Every team knows that from the start. I mean, we did it to the Bucks and we did it to the Cavs, and it's like, so the Knicks should have known that. We did it to the Knicks. It's like, it.
Sure.
It happens. It's one of those, definitely with Halliburton, how bad he's been. If he just starts hitting shots, next thing you know, we're in the game. That's really what it comes down to. And like I said, honestly,
that's another turnover by Halliburton.
Like I said, right now, it'd be better if McConnell's in the game. We need a Halliburton out the game right now because he's been terrible.
I feel like Rick Carlisle has to be, saving McConnell for these last 5 minutes. Has to be. I mean, he's been the saving grace off the bench. There's another layup by Jalen Williams. He has been, man, give the game ball to Jalen Williams if Oklahoma City, holds on right here. He has been fantastic right there. I mean, we talk about these little runs, 7-0 in the last minute for the Thunder. And again, it's so much of this, what I keep harping on throughout these playoffs, in particular in the finals, it feels like Oklahoma City is the great team. We understand 68 wins, trying to become an all-time single-season great team. And who knows, maybe they do, become a dynasty. They're a team whose great runs are fueled in part by their defense. Like, it feels like 75% of it is that, and then they're just going to get to the line, or they're going to get, transition buckets, as we've seen the last couple of minutes here. And I mean, just what they give in the perimeter. I mean, it's funny. Our guy Arthur, who hopefully will be joining us at some point after the basketball game's over, he was talking about how, man, like, Chet Holmgren can't finish the rim, and Hartenstein's struggling to finish inside. And it feels like Oklahoma City offensively, outside of J-Dub and SGA, are playing their C+ game, and it's
it's enough. It's the
because of their defense.
It's also Carson Wallace. That dude can't miss today.
Carson Wallace has been fantastic.
That dude is hitting every single three right now. And he hadn't hit a single one going into this game, and now he can't hit.
Yeah, and by the way, Oklahoma City, I mean, if you look at what they've done over the course of the series, like, they went with the two big lineup with, Hartenstein and Holmgren starting in Game 4. So now getting Carson Wallace back into sort of his natural role for the second game in a row, especially being at home. Like, I mean, man, J-Dub's at 37.
He's getting better every game.
There's the chart right there on ABC. Every single game he's improved his scoring. Listen, this kind of like the coming out game for him moving forward. Like, obviously he was an all-star this year. We knew he was the Robin to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's Batman. But oh my gosh, this another one? Another one. Caruso. My gosh. Yeah, Caruso doing Caruso things. Man, just give the ball to J-Dub, get out of the way.
I don't understand why Halliburton's still on the court. We need him off the court. I know that turnover wasn't on him, but we need him off the court. We only were in the game when McConnell was in the game. The only time we're in the game.
Dude, he's getting to the rim. He's hitting mid ranges. Taking
Let him play with the starting lineup.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Richard Jefferson's joking on the broadcast like he takes like 5 seconds to get his feet set and shoot the three, but like it's
he does.
It's the hustle plays. It's all of it. He's been really impactful for this team. I mean, we're at the 5:35 mark. Like I have to imagine he's coming back in at some point, right?
You would think so, but I have a feeling since Halliburton's the starter, he's gonna try and write with Halliburton because as I say, he's the one who's got us here, but tonight's not it. It's just not it, and I feel like you have to recognize that. He's supposed to be the star player, but it's not it for him. And,
go ahead.
And somebody else, and McConnell's doing it, and it's the same position. Like you just have to switch it.
We're gonna have this graphic updated when the game is over because we've done it since.
And here goes another turnover. Yeah, there you go, turn the ball over again.
I think I'm with you, Paris. I think you need to take Halliburton out.
It's not even. He's not. All he's doing is helping the Thunder. That's all he's doing.
I mean, they're not even getting a shot up right now. Like it's bad. And now you got Shea with a full head of steam, and now there's a foul. Man, all of a sudden this has turned into. I mean, it's going to require one of those Indiana crazy comebacks. Which, by the way, with a minute more than this, they were down 17 to the Knicks. I think it was 17 in game one and came back. Now Oklahoma City's much better than the Knicks, but this is part of Indiana's DNA. Lou Dort is just making life hell for Halliburton right now.
But again, what is he trying to like? I don't even think he knows what he was trying to do in that situation. He's just there.
I mean, a lot of this, and you saw it a lot in game two. And youth coaches teach this. I mean, when you first start playing basketball, if you're jumping, take the shot. Jump passes, unless you are as strong as LeBron James and can get it cross court in a blink, they 90% of the time don't work. And it feels like oftentimes if Halliburton thinks he got the shot and then he does it last second, he tries and kicks it out and tries to kick it out. And Oklahoma City's so darn long and quick.
I was like, a team like this, you just can't do that. And one of those, you would think at this point in the series, you would understand that. But They keep trying to do it.
Yep. But going back to what we were saying, I'm going to update the Halliburton graphic, by the time this game's over. But I'm looking game-by-game scoring. He had a bad 4-point game against Cleveland in Game 3, at home, by the way. Game 5 against the Knicks didn't really mean much for the Pacers, but he only scored 8 points. Like, he's had games like this. He had 10 in the opening round, the opening Game 1 against Milwaukee. Like, we know scoring isn't his – it's not that it's his forte, but here's a stop for – you could get a 5-on-4 here, get a quick bucket.
There you go.
Down the other end.
He's
stopping. Man, he's athletic. Yeah. See, back down to 12. Like, again, it's just these little bursts. Like, oh my goodness, they're back in. And it feels like Oklahoma City answers every time. We're at 4:20 left in the game. Nembhard's going to do his best on SGA.
I mean, that's our best option. And,
they're going to switch and roll, get Halliburton on him.
Wide open. It's worked all series. It's worked. And we don't. Halliburton just doesn't know who to guard. He doesn't want to be on Shy. But there's Neesmith, okay.
With an answer.
Hey.
He said, quiet down now, Paris. We're still in this game.
If Halliburton, Halliburton, again, I still just think Halliburton needs to be out. But if Neesmith can turn into Reggie Miller like he did against the Knicks, hey, we're back in this game.
bro, that was, no, what did he have in that game? 35 or something?
I think he only had
again. My gosh.
It's these mid-range shots, because shots like that, there's literally nothing you can do. That's Nembhard just trying to rush it there. Is he going to take it 3-on-1? Ooh.
Oh, missed it. Yeah, he might have rushed that. Like I said, I know he's your heat check, but 1-on-3s.
Okay, Obi blocked. Okay, got a foul. I'll take it.
It's just about getting stops, man. Like, because Nembhard, we know he did a good job against Brunson in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's done all he can. I mean, it's the MVP of the league he's taken on. Like, there's sometimes great players are just better against great defense.
He's keeping Shy at 30 points per game, but now J-Dub's scoring 30 points a game. It's just like, well, you can't put him on both. He has to choose one. And
here's the thing too about J. There's a missed free throw. Here's the thing about J-Dub that's fascinating, because they showed the chart on ABC, like he gets better scoring by game. He had 27 in game 4, but he had he was 8 for 18 shooting. It was 0 for 3 from 3. Like tonight, what's his shooting percentage got to be? It's got to be off the charts.
14 for 23. They're showing it right now.
23. Yeah. Wow.
40 points.
Now a timeout with the Oklahoma City Thunder up 14. Yeah. Listen, if Indiana can get this if they can cut the score in half in the next minute and a half, like, maybe you feel like something could happen, because it was in a very similar spot in game 1, and obviously game 1 against the Knicks in the previous round. I don't know.
He can do it.
Why has he not seen the floor in the last few minutes?
Again, because Halliburton, man. It's because they want to believe in Halliburton. They want to believe he can do it, but it's just today's not the day. Put McConnell when it was a 5-point game when McConnell was on the court.
Yeah.
And then now it's back to a 14-point game. I get it. Halliburton is our star point guard. He's supposed to be able to do everything, but he's doing nothing this game. Okay. Sometimes you have to do the matchups.
It's funny. I wanted to check plus minus. McConnell's second on the Pacers in plus minus. He's tied with Bradley at +2. But Benedict Mathurin is first in the Pacers in plus minus at +4. He was 2 for 11. Now again, he brings great energy. I thought he was solid defensively. Block shot, right? Like very athletic type of player. But it's just it feels like in the margins Indiana's really good, but just sometimes I know. Very good chance that this particular player, and we'll touch on him actually at the end of the show because of some news that just broke. It feels like you could just use like a Kevin Durant to get you like 5 just get out of jail buckets a game. Yeah. And not even just KD per se, but just a player like that. Mm-hmm. And now we're talking about one of the most gifted scorers ever, but you get what I'm saying? Like just like SGA, it felt like even there's stretches of game 4 when it felt like you guys are pulling away. He hit a mid-range. He gets to gets the free throw. Like just stop the bleeding. That's what the superstars do. And that's been, we've the debate has only intensified in our group chat, the grid about, is Halliburton a superstar? And listen, those who do not think he is, they're being validated tonight, to put it mildly, because this has been by far his worst game of the playoffs.
Oh. Okay, man. So I was
right
like,
on
if he hits that, man.
Caruso, offensive rebound.
I was like, if all the clutch moments that he's had this playoffs makes you want to think he's a superstar player. Sure. Because even legends sometimes don't have that many clutch baskets in a playoff run. But
by the way, some legends have. I mean, look at Big Shot Bob back in the day. Like there are guys who were role players who are clutch. So I'm not saying he's that, but sure, it varies.
It's the consistency he has. He'll have great clutch shots. He'll have games where he scores 20, 12 assists, 9 rebounds, but it's not like, every now and then he has a bad game. It's once a series, he has a bad game. And it's a game where he's not doing anything. He's not even trying to shoot. And this game, more than anything, feels like he's giving the Thunder more chances. And McConnell's on the court, but we took Nembhard out for McConnell to be on the court. It's like, that's not the answer.
I think at that point, Carlisle doesn't want to go too small with Nembhard and McConnell.
But Nembhard is the answer for Shai. Because we've seen Neesmith. He's not good
against. Kick out. Mike Breen bang incoming. Oh, never mind. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, jeez.
He had to grab it. Here comes McConnell.
Yep.
Good pass.
Kick it out, Siakam.
There's too many people. It's so many. That's the one thing the Thunder can do and no other team can do. It's how they swarm.
Yeah. No, it's that's why I remember talking about in game 1. Like it feels like, especially in that first half, like every single time, like a McConnell or Halliburton were driving inside, I feel like 7. Okay, you feel like the whole arena caved in on the paint, and they kick it out, and there would SGA be to grab it and take it the other way. And what a putback dunk there by Neesmith though.
And it's like one of those you can't replicate playing against that. How they swarm, there's no preparing you for that. It's more just don't get yourself in bad situations, and how we play, we put ourselves in a lot of those situations, and they take advantage of it every time.
It's funny. I said before we went live on air that so much of how you guys play reminds me of a team that ironically won a championship 10 years ago today, the 2015 Warriors, and maybe even the 2016 Warriors to a degree, where it's, ball movement, kick it out, player movement, all of it. But I remember that 2019 finals. Now, again, that was well within the end of the dynasty. Clay missed some games. KD missed all but 12 minutes. What struck me, and to me, what decided the series for Toronto, that ball's off Siakam. What struck me about that series, the former Raptor there, Siakam, what struck me about that series, just how darn long Toronto was with Ibaka and Kawhi, Siakam and Gasol, like all of these guys that could throw at you. Then you had the scoring pop of Fred VanVleet and obviously Kawhi and Siakam bringing up to the table. Like that's, I feel like that doesn't get it nearly enough love. It feels like length in basketball is like line play in football. Like no one talks about it because it's not very, I mean, we don't go on shows like this say, man, listen, that Philadelphia offensive line, against the San Francisco defensive line, like we're really locked into that. No, we're watching Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown or, Saquon Barkley. I feel like we talk about all the storylines in the series and strategies. Some of it, man, is Oklahoma City's just longer than Indiana is, and that's decided through 5 games. Looks like, barring something insane, and the Pacers are kind of the kings of that. Oklahoma City's going to go up 3-2 in this finals.
And it seems like the NBA is starting to trend to that. I mean, like, obviously we had, that 2019 team. You had somebody like KD coming in, but you had a KD, you had this Thunder team, you have a Victor Wembanyama. That length makes a difference. And I think that, teams are really starting to recognize what a big of a difference that makes. Because
no question.
When you can technically not be in the right position, but take one step or one leap and be there, it makes up for a lot.
No question it does. No question it does.
And we're a small team because we're only a small team because that's how it's hard to get lengthy players to run up and down the court. You're going to get a small team
for sure
to run up and down the court, and that's how we're made. So again, the way to stop that is, we're going to have to make a lot of quick passes, even if you're not in the right spot, but you can just put your hand out you disrupted everything.
And some of that is, Miles Turner's had a bad finals. Like that's something he has been overwhelmed. It feels like at times by the two. And by the way, not just on the interior, but he's been bad from 3-point range as well. And so Indiana loses this challenge.
Chet hasn't been that good either.
No, not offensively, hasn't.
Chet has had stretches of okayness, but overall he hasn't been good. The problem is, as I mentioned, neither one of these two as a center are good down low for some reason. They both, can shoot. Miles Turner somehow got some of a mid-range game, but both down low. And definitely at center, when they're both 6'11", 7 foot, they can't finish on people. They just can't. And also, my big issue that I have that other centers don't have, if you're bigger than people, when you get a rebound, you got to keep the ball above you. They love to grab the ball and bring it down low. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's going to grab that. Everybody's going to go after that. But if you keep it up here, no one's reaching that, but none of them do that. They all want to bring the ball to their chest and gets taken. I can't even be mad at TJ McConnell for taking that shot. That
shot kind of worked for him in the third quarter. So it's not something he's uncomfortable taking. Yeah, this game's pretty much a wrap. It feels like I said, all that's left is a Mike Breen bang on a Jalen Williams 3.
They waited way too long to try and put a TJ McConnell in and letting Tyrese Halliburton try and do it. See, we have our bench players in.
About to say, who's this guy?
Hey, and one though.
Man, I was about to say, who is this kid? Hey. No, listen. A lot of times I feel like these bench guys come in and you know what these guys are here for? They're here. I'm not. By the way, for the record, I'm joking here. What I'm about to say is a joke. I'm not alleging anything here. But what they're doing, see, the line in this game, Paris, was Thunder minus 9.5. What these bench guys are in is saying, no. You guys who bet the Pacers, we're take care of you. The Pacers doing something. That free throw didn't help, but. So, 120, 109, under 50 seconds to go, and this thing's about to be a wrap. Yep. Early sort of feelings on Game 6. Where are you at?
Honestly, again, this one really, I feel like really determines the series. The odds that we can, I feel like we can go home and win. I think we can go home and push it to 7. But the fact to go back to OKC in Game 7 and win that's going to be tough. That's going to be.
I feel like these next one, and who knows, maybe 2 games, if Indiana does win Game 6, it looks like the final score is going to be 120 to 109 Thunder as the clock's going to run out. Jalen Williams, again, player of the game. I feel like so much is – I feel like Indiana's going to be absolutely insane for Game 6, and so is Oklahoma City for Game 7 that gets there. But, man, give Caruso the game ball for Game 4, even though SGA was magic in the fourth quarter, and Jalen freaking Williams, the hero tonight for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tonight, if we can put up a stat line, 14 to 25 from the field, 40 points. He grabbed 6 boards, 4 assists, and was 3 for 5 from 3-point range as the Thunder take a 3-2 series lead. By the way, first time these playoffs, first time in 3 months that the Pacers have lost back-to-back games. And the big story is they're showing the replay on ABC. So maybe some of the struggles for Halliburton are related to that thigh. Like, we hate to go to that because, when a guy doesn't play well, then we, go back to the injury, but that is certainly a story for Indiana as we move into a Game 6 scenario. Last thoughts before we bring Arthur in. Do you have any sort of take on that?
I've been saying it all series. I just need them to be aggressive. It's not about hitting and missing and missing the shots. If he's missing shots, everybody's gonna have an off day. It's the fact of have the defense pay attention to you. When you're putting up 4 points and shooting the ball, 7 times? The defense isn't even worried about you, and that makes it easy for everybody just to stay on their man. When you're being aggressive, he can have 10, 11, 12 assists when you have to pull people on you. When you can just get stopped at the 3-point line, you're moving back and forth, you don't even know what you're doing with the ball. How's anybody supposed to get open? Because you're not doing anything.
No question about it. Let's go ahead and bring Arthur in. He is a big time contributor here on the Grid Network. And sorry, Paris, he's right just a little bit above you on the 8 o'clock spot standings. It appears that
more than a little bit.
Silver medal's not bad. Silver medal's not bad for season 2. We're going to go and bring him in. Arthur Hurst is joining us as he has all throughout this finals. Arthur, how you doing tonight, my man?
What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
I'm doing good. I don't know how Paris is doing. I know it's tough going down 3-2, but any early takeaways right now for you, Arthur, through 5 games, in particular this game we just saw?
Man, it's youth is playing a very huge factor in this series for both teams. The fact that we talked about this last episode, Bryson, how like this finals has been just confusing, right? Jalen Williams goes off for 40. SGA, who's the MVP, obviously the best player on that team, he pitches in what he pitched in, but is getting outdone by his Robin. Chet Holmgren, I don't know what's going on with him, honestly. He just can't finish at the basket, which is crazy. I don't get it.
Hey man, neither can Miles Turner. So
big struggle.
The bench didn't play very well tonight, and then you have the Pacers just looking like a college team. Those were very bad turnovers. That they were within 2. They were within 2 points, and then turnover. Nembhard with I think like 2 or 3 possessions straight with turnovers. And Tyrese Halliburton starts to throw a turnover. Like it just spiraled in the fourth quarter. And again, like I said, this finals is just confusing. But hey, man, Oklahoma City got the win, and now it's a win away from hoisting that trophy.
You know when it started spiraling? When we put Halliburton in and took McConnell out. So when it started spiraling.
Dude, that's y'all. Do you think it could have worked with Halliburton and McConnell in?
No, well, that's when he was scoring. When he was scoring, we had McConnell and Halliburton in. But I think they just needed to take Halliburton out and have McConnell and Nembhard, because if you taking Nembhard out and putting McConnell in, yes, that works. But who's guarding Shai? Because Nembhard is the only guy who's one-on-one with Shai. Obviously, it's not going to work every time, but he's there. Halliburton can't do it, and we've seen all series. Shai would rather have Nesmith on him than Nembhard. So you kind of can't take that off. So you kind of have to work with. And McConnell, I'm honestly, Halliburton, for me, he was giving the Thunder points. He was just giving them the ball every single time.
So. Yeah, he struggled. That fourth quarter was absolutely brutal on Halliburton's part from a ball handling perspective, from a point guard perspective, no question. And by the way, they're showing the screen. It's the first career playoff game with 0 field goals for Halliburton. Go ahead, Arthur.
Add in the fact, it's like Paris was saying when I hopped in here, like when I saw, again, I don't want to harp on it too much, because again, he's able to grow into it because he's young. But this is why I'm hesitant about the superstar stuff with Tyrese Halliburton, is because I can't get 7 shots from you when there's a chance that we're going to go down 3-2, and we're going to be in an elimination game when we go back to Indianapolis. I need you, it's like Paris said, just be aggressive. I don't care if you go 0 of 17. It's like the saying goes, like with a lot of players, it's like, if I go 0 of 6, I'd rather go like 0 of however many than go 0 of 6, because that shows that I just stopped. I didn't keep trying. I didn't whatever. I just stopped. And that's what I saw from Tyrese tonight. Like one possession, he was getting guarded by Chet Holmgren, and he's dribbling, he's trying to make something happen. And I'm just like, dude, just get the ball out of your hands. Like Steph Curry talked about that in one of his basketball camps. It's a famous clip that goes around, that it went around, of him saying, find a way to make an impact on the game without the ball. You don't always have to have the ball. If you don't have a shot or you can't make a play, get the ball out of your hands, go do something else, like set screens, cut. Like there's so many other things you can possibly do, but Tyrese Halliburton's over here dribbling, trying to make something happen, whether it's scoring or passing, and it's too much, because again, the paint is congested. You are being guarded up close on front, respectfully, because you are the best player on that team, so they recognize you're a threat. everybody's going to be aggressive on you, and the fact that you are playing through an injury. So you're going to have a lot more aggressiveness, and individual guys, whenever they play you, be a lot more physical with you because they know you're basically hopping around on one leg out there. So I just wish he would have just I wish he would have kept shooting. I'm mad that he decided to settle. If he just kept shooting and just tried to, like Paris said, make the defense have to worry about him, then you don't know what would happen, because it's like basketball players always say, all I need to do is see one go in. It's like what SGA did last game. Once he saw one go in that fourth quarter, then he went on a run by himself, and then the game was over. So,
and by the way, too, by the way as well, we have this graphic update, and we can go and put this up here of Halliburton scoring, per series. And this isn't even I thought the game 5, this shows my deficiencies at math, would be kind of like a regression to the mean, like 17.5 against Milwaukee, 17.5 against Cleveland. Then it went up to 19 against the Knicks. Now it's come all the way down to 15 on the dot against the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're just looking at 14, 17, and it's gone down since game 3. So 22, 18, and now 4. Obviously, you have to imagine a much better performance in game 6 with the season, the championship potentially on the line for them. But I'll ask you, Paris, do you expect obviously I expect Halliburton to score more than 4 in game 6. Do you expect him to be more aggressive than he was tonight? And you have to imagine being much less loose with the basketball in his hands?
You already know what he's going to do. He's going to go, this game's going to be over. He's going to go into a press conference, say it's all his fault, and he needs to be way more aggressive. And he's going to come out in game 6 and drop probably around 20 points with like 12 assists. And it's going to be like, again, why do we have to have this every single time? Just do it. Why do we always have to have a bad game and yeah, it's my fault, I need to be better? Just do it. I don't know why we have to be terrible to admit that you're bad and then do it. Just nobody else has that issue. You can have a bad game, that's fine. But multiple times to be bad and you have to admit that you're bad, there's no way we're trying to make you a superstar player, but McConnell can get off shots and you can't. That doesn't make any sense. McConnell is driving into the entire Thunder defense and scoring. And McConnell can't get, Halliburton can't get off the 3-point line. And I get it. Dort's on him. Dort's not always on McConnell. Dort is on Tyrese. That is a big difference. I understand that. But at some point, again, and all superstars can beat somebody one-on-one. Halliburton can't beat somebody one-on-one. He doesn't have the moves. He has to get screened, and Dort can get through screens. The entire Thunder team can get through screens, so it's not going to work. And so he's stuck crisscrossing at the 3-point line, and then you have the possession where he looks lost by Lou Dort standing on top of him, and he just throws it to the team. It's like, that's what are we doing?
How many? Listen, and again, I may have to, if game 6, and if for the sake of argument, let's say it does go to a game 7, if it looks similar to the way it looked tonight and the way it's looked through large stretches of this finals, and even at points of the playoffs. He had a 4-point game in game 3 against the Cavs. He had an 8-point game against the Knicks in game 5. If this continues, I have to imagine I'll probably have to revise the whole superstar take, because if you're looking at the box score right now, and listen, who was it? There was a former player the other day that said so much of basketball analysis has become box score watching. And I agree with that to a degree. It's become watered down to that. But some of this does really apply to what we're talking about here, because 6 Pacers took more shots than Tyrese Halliburton. How on earth this man, it's like you were saying earlier, it'd be one thing to go 2 for 15. Can't go 0 for 6. You got to take more than 6 shots. Like you said, McConnell took 14 shots. Now he's a fish. He was 8 of 14 from the field and got them back in the game in the third quarter. But it's just a matter of aggressiveness. And I feel like we talked about this, especially after game 2.
McConnell's going to the basket and shooting between 3 people like it's Kobe Bryant right now. But Tyrese Halliburton is scared to go one-on-one with somebody. It's just, and like I said, there's a difference in who he's facing, but it's like McConnell has the heart and Halliburton's like, well, but it's not there. What can I do?
And by the way, shifting now, I guess, to the Oklahoma City side, I think the story is rightfully going to be Jalen Williams, who in this game, as we mentioned, 14 to 25 from the field, 3 for 5 at 3-point range. By the way, 9 for 12 from the line, dropped 40 points in this game, was absolutely sensational, combined with Halliburton's 31 on not only 9 of 21 shooting.
Obviously,
talk about Jalen Williams.
Obviously, Jalen Williams is the reason they win this game. But the fact that they have somebody like Jalen Williams helps shine, not just obviously scoring, but how the coach works with them. He takes Shai out early in the game and brings him back later in the game, so he actually has the energy fourth quarter-wise, so he's not exhausted. No other team was doing that with the Pacers. Every other series with the Pacers, their stars were in there, they were exhausted. But since the Thunder have a side, a J-Dub that can go out there, and even not just a scorer, but they have Caruso, he can just go out there and stop us from scoring. So that helps, gives us time. They're able to let Shai start off, get a couple buckets, he starts feeling himself, take him out for a good period of time. So then when the game's getting later, he's not exhausted. And that's no other teams had that benefit against us.
And that's part of what's made Oklahoma City so darn scary is, again, I keep harping on this, but they just go on these long runs, field off their defense, and you feel like they did a lot of that in the fourth quarter, where if there was a minute and a half stretch where the Pacers didn't get a shot off, in part because of Halliburton's turnovers. Arthur, any takeaways on Jalen Williams he's gotten better literally every game by scoring-wise, but dropping 40, it felt like half his buckets, I'd have to go back, but half his buckets just came in transition off of Pacers turnovers.
Again, great defensive team in NBA history. Man, look, dog. Jalen Williams had a heck of a game. Dude, y'all, Paris, you need to thank your lucky stars that y'all didn't get blown out by more, dude. Because
trust me, that first half felt like we were down by 30 points.
Dude,
when it was only 14 at the half, I'm like, crap, the Pacers do anything in the second half, they'll win this game, and there was stretches where it felt like they could.
Dude, all five shots that Lou Dort made was from the 3-point line. That man went 5 of 9 for 3 for 15 points.
That's all he's doing, though. He's wide open to 3-point the entire series.
Dort, super quick, Dort was 3 for 6, just for the record. He was 3 for 6 from 3.
Oh, he was 3 for 6 from 3?
3-6, but still, no, we understand. No question, he's a huge threat from out there.
Cason Wallace hit 3 also. That was a big thing. In the first half, Cason Wallace couldn't miss.
Yeah. I looked at the wrong thing. My fault, y'all. Chet Holmgren, dog. Like, listen, yes, Jalen Williams is going to be the talk. SGA, obviously a great game, but Chet Holmgren, man, like he at times can be a difference maker scoring, because dog, if he does not shoot inefficient tonight, what was the final score? How much?
120 to 109.
120 to 109. Yep.
Point game.
Bruh, if he has an inefficient night, y'all lose more. Y'all lose by more than that.
He hasn't been efficient all series, though.
Yeah, So that, again, youth, growth, all of those things, and Jalen Williams has been able to grow into his own throughout this entire series, really this entire playoffs. But you've seen moments. We talked about this last podcast. We've seen moments where it's like, okay, you know what? You're cooking. Give him the ball. And he just goes to work. Like when they got that steal, that man took the ball. It was pushing it against 3. He outran 2 of them, and he had to worry about Obi Toppin. And I was like, dog, he's really about to go and try and score with basically 3 Pacers ready to defend him at the freaking cup. Like, that's insane. But that shows the confidence that he had in himself tonight, and the confidence that his team had in him. Great shot selection, able to get to the rim, was physical, was able to play his game in the way he wanted to play. And like you said, Bryson, being able to have a lot of those points off of turnovers. Great team defense, great individual defense. But it was also the fact that the Pacers, man, they just didn't look like themselves. They didn't know what to do. They didn't look composed. They're like, okay, I'm in trouble. I got to get rid of the ball. And, I get rid of the ball, but it's to the wrong team. So,
I mean, when your number one point guard is doing that, the rest of the team follows suit, basically.
Yeah, no question. Like, that's a lot of that is how do you set the tone on the floor if you're Halliburton? By the way, Game 6 is opened. Oklahoma City -5.5, which is about what it was for the games 3 and 4 in Indiana. Any early predictions, Paris? I imagine you're roll with Indiana here. Like this is season one.
All I got asked, if we lose the series, can we just not lose at home, man? Lose the finals in the home stadium. That would be rough. Because I know Reggie Miller's going to be there too. To lose it in front of him, that would be rough. So I think we win it. I think honestly, again, this is going to be a game we don't not say it's a blowout, but kind of like this game, it's not like they blew us out, but just win it. Okay, we won by 8, 9, 10 points. We got to do that. We need one of our games where we just won, obviously, the turnovers. The difference between how we won game 1 and why we lost this, game 1, we had 20-some turnovers, but they only scored 11 points off of it. This game, they scored 20-some points off our turnovers. So not only were they turning the ball over, they were scoring on the turnovers. That's the difference. So
Here's part of the problem though for Oklahoma or for the Pacers though. They lose that game 4. We talk about Shea going on the run that he went on. He was special in that 7-0 personal run, and the 12-1 run for the Thunder went on, and Caruso was great off the bench. What to me might have been most shocking is that Oklahoma City won a finals game in which they made 3 3-point shots. They scored 9 points from the 3-point line in that game, and they were able to steal that in Indiana. They scored, do the math, 42 points off threes tonight on 14 3-point makes. Somewhere in the middle, he feels like that's about where it's going to be at in that game 6. And I think, listen, it keeps coming back down to aggressiveness for Halliburton. Listen, if you go down, if Halliburton drops 20, but he's, 8 of 25, if it feels foreign for Halliburton to take 25 shots, nor do I really want him to, because that's almost playing out of his game. That's almost over, correcting. But listen, the greatest, one of the biggest, most prevalent rules in the NBA playoffs is that the others, as Shaquille O'Neal would call them, almost always without fail, step up at home. Whereas the guys for Oklahoma City, the Isaiah Joes, the Casey Wallaces, the Lou Dorts, and the Aaron Wiggins, who was good tonight, great in game 2, nothing in games 3 and 4, kind of come back down to earth. I picked Thunder in 6 before this series started. I'm debating whether I should be, loyal to a point in my pick, or should I say,
you gotta stick with your pick, man. Because it's true.
I'll stick with it. I'll stick with it. But Arthur, do you have any early takes on Game 6? Do you have it leaning one way or the other?
We haven't. It's something that Paris said that has happened every single series. We haven't seen a game where the Indiana Pacers just can't miss yet.
And it's always at home when we do it.
Some of that's OKC's defense, in fairness.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of it is
true.
I will say the Cavs were the number 1 defensive team in the East, and we still did it to them.
Regular season team, Paris. That's different monster.
That's funny. But no, like we haven't seen a game yet from this team where they just can't miss. Your back is against the wall in an elimination game in Indy. Like Paris said, Reggie Miller's going to be there. A whole lot more Indiana Pacers legends are going to be there.
Caitlin Clark
is going to be there. So, that has to be the game you don't miss. That has to be. And Tyrese Halliburton has to lead the charge. It can't be, TJ McConnell. Like, yeah, you got to, you play bad, own it, go, get back home and play the way that y'all need to play in order to win that game. I think they can. I honestly believe they do have a chance to win that game. I do. They just gotta go. Like Paris said, they gotta go do it. They just gotta go do it. Quit saying, "Yeah, I have a bad game." Because here's the thing: you can have a bad game shooting 4 of 17, like Chet did, right? He can have a bad game, but how else were you able to impact the game to help us win? Yes, you had a bad shooting night, but you didn't have a bad game. You still were able to get assists. You still were able to get rebounds, steals, create some type of play for us to be successful. So, yeah, got to find other ways to be able to have an impact on the game when the ball is not going your way in the hoop.
Every superstar, every Hall of Fame player is going to have a bad shooting night. That's one thing. But when you shoot it 7 times, it's like, okay.
6 times.
6 times. It's like you didn't even try. And that, again, that's my issue. Not that he didn't try. It happens every series. It's like, in every series he does it, we lose. And it's like, yeah. And he's always like, yeah, it's my fault. But it's like, then why are you doing it? If it happened once in the playoffs, it's like, okay, he had a bad game, he was off. But per series, it's like, okay, this is a trend, and that's an on-you trend. You're the one not taking the shots. You're not taking shots. You're not being aggressive. That you can't. There's no fault. There's no, the team could do this, team could do that. He took 7 shots. That's on him, and he's gotta take more shots. That opens up everybody else because the Pacers, again, everybody on that Pacers team can shoot. But nobody's getting open when he's just crossing around the 3-point line. Everybody's going to have their man on him. If he drives, all it takes is one person to come help. He can pass it to anybody. We've seen him do it. He can make all types of passes. Pass it, take a shot. If they missed a shot off that 3, you live with that. But you did something. But you're not doing that when you're taking 7 shots. And
here's the thing also. Here's before you go, Bryson. Here's the other thing. Indiana could have won this game if he didn't give up. Essentially, that's how I took it. If he didn't give up, or if he just was like, dang, this injury is just killing me, I can't do what I do, whatever it was, Indiana could have won this game. Because when you look Pascal had 28, Neesmith had 14, Turner had 13, Toppin had 12 off the bench, McConnell had 18. So that means all I can worry about is Tyrese Halliburton giving me at least 20. Then we're still in the game. We don't get blown out. We could probably win this thing. But
also only just 10. Get him 10.
So
yeah, give him 10. It's a tight game. Also,
he finally shot free throws, which isn't done all finals.
Yeah. He doesn't get to the line. He does not get to the line.
No,
by the way, too.
But again, that's growth. That's what you gotta have. That's what you gotta add to your bag. Mm-hmm. I gotta get to the free throw line. Again, that's another way to where I can see the ball go through the hoop and I get my confidence back. That's what SGA did literally last game. I got to the free throw line. Okay, I saw the ball go through the net. I'm gonna hit this three, and now I'm just gonna go on a tear, and this game is over. That's again growth, and that's just another way that you can have an impact on the game. I'm going to make you guys have to foul me. I'm gonna get to the free throw line, and this is how I'm gonna be able to get my groove.
And that's part of what SGA does. Like, there was a lot of controversy, and we never really talked about it on our podcast, but a lot of controversy in that game 4 with Scott Foster and some of the calls, like did SGA push off on the mid-range shot, whatnot. The one that I did not get, and where I do give SGA some credit, because you and I, Arthur, have been on this from the jump, like the flailing, throwing your body, parallel to the ground, when there's minimal contact, a non-basketball shot, like that's the stuff we get mad at. Ripping through, like when he fouled Aaron Neesmith out. That's a foul. Neesmith's got his hands in the cookie jar. He rips through, i.e. Kevin Durant. Dwayne Wade used to do that sometimes, right? Like just finding those little things. I don't think it's cheating the game. Again, Kevin Durant's done it. Kobe Bryant used to find creative ways to get to the line in basketball fashion, as opposed to, throwing your body crazy, which Shea hasn't done much this finals, but hopefully he's, phasing that out of his game. Quickly though, before we get out of here, sort of off topic, Athletic just kind of dropped this in the middle of nowhere. The Athletic, which is a more than credible sports news source, they tweeted that out of Kevin Durant's preferred trade destinations, league sources tell The Athletic that he specifically wants to play for the San Antonio Spurs, which, by the way, was reported by Shams, one of his 3 final teams in Houston, San Antonio, and Miami. It's been reported. It seemed like the Miami thing is not going to happen. They offered a deal to Phoenix. Phoenix didn't like it. Houston doesn't sound like there's been any activity. I think the Rockets are and should be waiting for Giannis, because even if they don't land Giannis, they've got a great young core. Like, I'm not trying to make any hasty moves if I'm the Houston Rockets. If I'm San Antonio, my quick take on this before I shift it to you guys, and then we can get out of here, is I think this is the perfect fit for Kevin Durant. I think the trade for the Spurs, I don't think they have to include Stephon Castle, which I felt like that you probably have to include Castle in a deal for Giannis. Kevin Durant, what has he said? Hey, I just want to hoop. He gets to go to a culture where it's about winning championships. They ain't winning no championship right now. Kevin is, and then I guess shift it to you, Arthur. The one thing I've always said about Kevin Durant, if you had to write the chapters in the Kevin Durant book, it's, oh my God, he's amazing. There's the controversial decision of Golden State. There's WTF, why on earth did he leave the Warriors for the dysfunctional Nets? And then the fourth and final chapter to me is he fits in literally every single system in the history of the league, and he works, maybe he doesn't win all the time in dysfunctional spots, but he works. Do you not like that idea, Arthur? What, like, for the Spurs perspective, from KD's perspective?
Dude, I get the I just want to hoop conversation. I always get that. But dog, with great power comes great responsibility. You will never, ever be able to have that conversation with yourself or with anybody. You can't be. What I mean is, you can't be this all-time great player and say, I just want to hoop. No, dog.
Kevin Durant never wants to be the guy. He never wants to be the guy.
And that's
I think he wanted to be, and then when he saw that he wasn't, the guy in Golden State, he wasn't as beloved as Steph. I think he was like, oh, maybe this isn't as important as I thought. I think he went through a lot of, I won't speak to KD. I don't know the guy, but I think a lot of sort of self, internalizing and seeing, what he prioritized. And I think he kind of came out saying, hey, I'm about basketball, none of the other stuff.
But it was even in OKC. You saw like Russ, like respectfully, KD should have went to Russ and be like, look, dog, respect to you. This is not your team. This is mine. Again, you're coming into your own. We need you. Yes, you are not the alpha of this team. So you can take that bull crap somewhere else. Because in order for us to be successful, I need to dominate. You can dominate too. Cool. But when it comes time that the ball needs to be in my hands, the ball needs to be in my hands. So it's not just a Golden State thing to where he wanted to be where again, Paris is saying he doesn't want to be the guy. I think it was also a thing of, is again, I just want to hoop, but you're too great of a player, and everybody recognizes that to where it's like, nah, dog, we're not going to let you get away with I just want to hoop conversation. Kyrie Irving can, but Kyrie Irving is not looked at as one of the top 10 or 15 players in the league and an all-time great. At his position, yes, but we know who those 10 to 15 all-time greats are, and Kevin Durant is easily one of those guys. None of those other guys on the list had the audacity or the room to say, I just want to hoop. LeBron James says that. He would get his ass killed. Kobe Bryant says that. He would get killed. MJ, Kareem's. Nobody else on that list would have the balls to say something like that because they know that's just not reality. I can't say I just want to hoop. If that was the case, I shouldn't want to be looked at as this. That's number one. Number two, San Antonio, dog, y'all have too much going for y'all's future. Please do not, please don't. For a guy that says, I just want to hoop, no, I'm sorry. I don't want you to just hoop here. I want you to be able to teach Victor Wembanyama whatever he needs to know.
You don't think you would do that anyway?
It doesn't matter. If he goes there, I'm not thinking about us missing the playoffs. I'm thinking about us making it. I'm thinking about us.
I think a starting five that includes Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Durant, Victor Wembanyama, that's a playoff team in the Western Conference. I don't think there's any question about it.
But who are you giving up though? This is still
Harrison
Kevin
Barnes,
Durant we're talking about. Huh?
Here's the thing. Like, I think this is what's getting misinterpreted to a degree. I don't think you have to give up the farm to get Kevin Durant. He's 37 years, about to be 37 at the start of next year. He's in year 19. The contract isn't great based on the production and in particular the winning that Kevin Durant has or has not accomplished over the last couple of years. Like, Harrison Barnes is a part of the deal. You're going to have to include some picks, but the Spurs have plenty of picks. Like, I don't think that's going to be an issue for them.
Cool, but this is still the Phoenix Suns we're talking about, who need a lot for them. They need a lot. They need a lot more than just picks. They need something to help Devin Booker out in his situation. Devin Booker got to get the hell out of Phoenix. If we're being completely honest, Devin Booker's got to go. He needs to say, you know what? We tried. It was a fun ride. I got to go. There's no reason why Kevin Durant is right now the talk of the town trying to get out of Phoenix. Devin Booker should be saying, yo, hey, what about me? I want to leave. I would like to go. Okay, so but again, this is still Kevin Durant we're talking about. If I'm Phoenix, I'm asking for the farm. I don't care what y'all say. Yeah, y'all can give me these picks. Yeah, y'all can whatever. But, there is, Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle. Yeah, I will like him. Harrison Barnes, yeah, we'll take him. Yeah, we'll take some picks. Who's the rainbow hair guy? Yeah, nah, y'all can keep him. I would literally try to be ballsy. What about De'Aaron Fox? What about this guy? I would try to be ballsy with San Antonio because it's about how bad do you want him? How bad do you want a 37-year-old Kevin Durant, who again is still going to give you 25 to 30 points any given night? Again, Victor Wembanyama will be able to learn from him and all that. I get it. But if I'm trying to win and worry about my future, this is just a growing pain. I'm not expecting Victor Wembanyama to just come in here and just dominate immediately. And even though he has to a degree, I'm not expecting him to just come in here and just lead us to places. Nah, bro, sure. Just let them grow. Let those guys. De'Aaron Fox is still young. Stephon Castle he's obviously going to be able to grow into his own. You've got a new coach, right? You still got Pop up there. You got Timmy D on your staff, and they are in a good place, dog. Tony Parker, again, will be able to come back and give whatever consulting ideas he wants to. Manu Ginobili, same thing. David Robinson, same thing. They're fine. It's not like they need KD. If it's for now, sure. You're not winning now. I'm sorry. No disrespect to y'all. Y'all aren't winning now. And y'all will be trading a pretty good future y'all got for trying to be greedy.
Sure.
And again, for a guy that says he just want to hoop.
Fair enough. Do you have any retort to that, or do you agree, Paris?
I honestly, I kind of agree with you. I don't think you'd have to give that much of Kevin Durant right now. I think the Suns just need to get rid of him. And I think it's at the point where Kevin Durant just wants to be out, and the Suns are in a spot where it's not that they need to get rid of Kevin Durant. They need to get rid of the entire team from top to bottom. Their team needs to be gone. And I don't know
if Ishbia wants to do that.
And I understand how I see it. I think Devin Booker's going to have a Damian Lillard type of career. I don't think he's leaving. I think he's going to be stuck on Phoenix for a long time and then finally leave. I don't think he leaves in this year and another year. But I honestly think you can get Kevin Durant for probably Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, and a couple picks. I think that you would be able to get Kevin Durant for that. I don't think it's going to take a De'Aaron Fox or Stephon Castle to get Kevin Durant off that team because he just needs to be gone. And what he was saying with Kevin Durant being the guy, I didn't see it in OKC. I think the Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, how they were working worked perfectly fine. I saw it when he went to the Nets. That's when I really started seeing that he doesn't want to be the guy. Because when he was on the Warriors, when he had to face LeBron, he wanted to be the guy. He wanted to show he wanted to be better than LeBron. And when it was him against LeBron, he would go up against LeBron, no problem. But then he went to the Nets with James Harden and Kyrie, and they were all getting injured. And then he had that game in the playoffs where he dropped He played all 48 minutes, dropped a good
Milwaukee.
Dropped a good 40 points, but he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to go out there and have to do that. He never does. And that's the issue with Kevin Durant, because he is the type of player that you want to do that, but he doesn't want to do it. He'll do it once. He'll go out there and say, "Hey, I can do this for you." But that's all. I got you this one game. You better figure out the rest of the games. I'm just gonna shoot. Here's your 40, but the rest about to be 30, and I'm not dropping 40. I don't care. So I think that's his issue. It's just like he has it in him, and he can do it, but he doesn't want to do it. He'll like, "Hey, you need it one game. Here you go. God better figure out for the rest of the series."
I think a lot of it is some of this is how Kevin Durant wants to play. Like, I want to be efficient. Like, I don't want to take too many shots. And like, that was a lot of the discussion when he was in Oklahoma City, for a big chunk of his prime. We'll see where he ends up. I think at this point, it feels like, the report, those close to him said he wanted to go to the Spurs. Now the Athletic says he wants to go to the Spurs. I have to imagine, again, the package, as Yusuf Harris, is just not insane, but we'll see what happens. What we do know is going to happen is that Game 6 of the Finals is going to be on Thursday night. We're going to be right back here at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific time, live on YouTube as well as on Twitter and Instagram. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Paris, for your sake, I hope the Pacers win Game 6. I don't know if I'm picking y'all. I don't know if I'm going with the Pacers.
That's fine,
I'm probably going to stick to my pick, OKC in 6.
We've been underdogs all playoffs, man.
Listen. We'll see what happens. And Arthur, appreciate you stopping by once again throughout the course of this finals. Hope to see both of you guys, and hope to see everybody that has joined us in the audience for Thursday. Game 6 series could be over by then, or it could be going to Game 7. Either way, we're going to have a lot of fun here. So YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific time, live on Thursday night. We'll see you guys then. Stay safe. God bless, and good night.